Hey guys, welcome back to Pond Bassin. In my last video about crankbaits, I had a viewer leave me a comment to try the Strike King Hybrid Hunter. So I looked in my tackle box and realized I had a couple of them. So I went out on a fishing trip with my dad and I tied on one of those and a chatterbait. So we picked the date to go out based on the weather forecast, which was going to be overcast, windy, and chance of showers. But it ended up being a little breezy, sunny, and hot. Go figure, right? We got up to a lay down and I cast the crankbait right up to it. I knew the branches were just a couple inches underneath the shore. The shoreline. That the branches were just a couple inches underneath the surface, so I had to work it really slow so I didn't get hung up. And I watched this bass come up and inhale it, and I had asked my dad to take out his phone and videotape me fighting it because I don't have like any footage of me fishing at this point. So he wasn't really sure how to do it, and this is what he ended up getting.
Yeah, nice video right there.
I'm just gonna press it again.
And to stop it?
Well, it's better than nothing, right? So when I weighed it, it was just shy of 4 pounds. I think it was like 3.8 something. It was on this guy right here. This is the Strike King Hybrid Hunter. This color, chartreuse perch. This thing, super loud. There's a bunch of different ways you can fish the thing. It's very versatile. It comes through cover quite well. It's pretty weedless. And like I said, the way I fished it was I used it pretty much like a topwater, so I didn't get down into the branches of that tree. The other ways you can fish it is you can burn it, you can stop and go, you can twitch it almost like a jerkbait, and the topwater. This crankbait works excellent in grass when you're in shallow water, like 3 to 5 foot of water with grass that's coming up halfway through the water column. So after that 4-pounder, we went to an open water area where we've had success in the past. Here's an example of what to look for in the open water of a larger pond. This drawing is a similar situation that I have on a pond that I fish in. And for the sake of the example, I'm only putting grass and bass where I was catching the fish. An easy way to start is by fishing those lily pads up there, and then work your way down to the middle of the pond from there. It goes from thick pads to those smaller spread out ones, and eventually to mostly grass when it hits about the 5 foot deep mark. Run your boat in a straight line while either casting a crankbait to gauge the depth around you, or looking at a graph until you see the depth change enough to know you're not around the 5 foot zone any longer. You can then turn around, and while you're in the 5 to 6 foot zone, now go east and west across the pond and just fan cast this entire zone. You can do the same thing with the 10-foot zone or whatever the depth may be for your pond. And the bait that I used out there is the bait that I mentioned in my first video, that I was testing a chatterbait that's cheaper than a jackhammer and was producing just as well as one. And if it kept doing so, I was going to let you know what it was. And it did just that. I ended up catching 14 bass in about 4 hours, and the majority of them came on this chatterbait. And this is the chatterbait right here. I forgot to mention this thing goes for about $6 on Tackle Warehouse. Kind of looks like a jackhammer. It has the same hook keeper or bait keeper as a jackhammer. But anyways, this one's called the Hags Hurricane Bladed Jig. Here's a jackhammer. I'll hold them up side by side. They're both in black and blue. It's hard to tell the difference like this. And I'll get them lined up to show you the difference in the hook. This one right here is the Hags. That's quite a hook, man. But anyways, this bait and this bait carried the day for me. I didn't retie anything. And that's rare for me. So if you want to find out how to find fish in open water, I shot a video right here, and I'll see you in that one.